Well, hi everyone. We're here again tonight, and my plan was to be done last night, but we're not quite done raising our support. And for those that don't know, uh, I've been coming on every night with different people who have been impacted or support, uh, Chi Alpha and Jeff and I, or we've known through the years, and God's done a really neat work in them. And so we've been doing that, and it's been fun to see and listen to so many testimonies. And I just have to say, God is so good. About the time that you think, well, maybe there's not much going on, then you start seeing how God has been moving, and He's doing so many neat things. And so, just so you know, we are down to $250 in monthly support that we need. Yay, I know. It's been a long journey. I think this last year, going through the new director's training that I've been going through, one of the things I realized is how important it is to have our missionaries be fully funded, and which is going to be very important when we have more people come on the campus with us. I'm going to need to make sure that they stay fully funded. But this is the first time that I've been fully funded in 11 years. So I've just always kind of skimmed by, and I'm just really ecstatic about the possibility that we could be. And so I want to thank everyone who's been sharing and who's been contacting me. I had someone I'm very close to contact me today, and I've probably talked to them about what we do for years, and they've always prayed for us and supported us, but they jumped on supporting us financially. And so it's been neat. It's been really fun, and I really appreciate all our supporters and all of those that pray. And I know that there are times you cannot support another missionary or right at that time, but please keep us in prayer. So tonight I have a special guest, and I'm probably going to go until I don't have a guest, or until we're fully funded, which I hope is not tomorrow. Maybe later tonight. I don't know. So, but I talked to Lily yesterday, and she said, "Well, I would come on." So this is Lily, and Lily's my sweet friend that I really have enjoyed getting to know. And we've got kind of a jumbled up story there, but I'm going to let her tell it. Not jump. That's not the right word. It's not traditional. Yeah. So that's the way to say that. So, yeah. But so Lily, go ahead and share. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good way to start it, because Laurie, I think you started friendship with me when I was in the youth group, which was pretty cool for me because I felt pretty special then, because you were the young adult pastor. You didn't even need to know me for any specific reason. I was in the youth group, and you just befriended me and came alongside me and invited me to things, and I felt like one of the cool kids. And I was like, man, Laurie's so friendly, she's so loving. And we started friendship off from there, and she was just always available for coffee dates, to be a good friend. I think that's something that you're gonna hear from a lot of people about Laurie through these Zoom calls, is that Laurie's a good friend. She's a loyal friend who's always available for you in any time, at any moment of life. And so when I started driving, then I could have coffee dates with Laurie, and we would meet. And I remember one coffee shop time, Laurie was talking about discipleship and how much it's an unseen work, where you are living life with people daily, and it's not always something that you can say in a newsletter. We're doing this and we see this result and we see this fruit right away. But it's a long process where you're walking with people day after day after day through their mess and through their stuff. And that's what Laurie does every day with many, many people. And so I've been able to take after her example. I try to. But it's a lifelong journey. Discipleship is a lifelong process where you walk through it with many, many different people. And so Laurie has been there for me in that way throughout my life. And then I went to college in North Central University. And when I came back for the summer, she still kept in touch, and we've kept in touch on and off throughout that time. And then I felt called to go back to Indiana for a semester at PFW. And she invited me to hang out with Chi Alpha and be a part of the group. And that was huge for me. I always knew that Chi Alpha was great. But when I stepped on campus and I saw the secular college experience, I realized just how important it is to have Christian community, because at North Central University, it's a private Christian college where you find Christian people everywhere. Everyone's friendly, everyone's smiling at you. You can talk to anyone you want, pretty much. You step on a campus like PFW, and you're gonna have the temptation to hide who you are in Christ, and to hide that light, and to kind of shrink back and not be as friendly, because it's not the standard at a secular Christian college. And so you need that Christian community in order to stand strong and to keep the faith and just be excited for life. That's what fuels me, is to have Christian community. And so it was really great to have Chi Alpha during that time, and I really got to see why it's so important to have it. And even after that semester, I finished my associate's degree, and I came back, and this spring I got to plug into Chi Alpha community again, and I just realized just how much community and life and living life together is what Chi Alpha is. And I looked up a verse after this last SALT conference. Laurie invited me to a SALT conference, which is a Chi Alpha conference that they have every year, right? And so I got to go this last spring, and that's just something that Laurie's always been very generous to invite people who aren't even on college campus and just take them under her wing. She's always welcoming and in that way. And so after the SALT conference, I was like, I need to study out why Christian community is such an important thing, and why it gives us so much strength. And one of the verses I was thinking about before this FaceTime was Acts 2:46. And it says, every day they continued to meet together in the temple courts. They broke bread in their homes and ate together with glad and sincere hearts, praising God and enjoying the favor of all the people. And the Lord added to their number daily those who were being saved. And I think that's how we see fruit in our lives, is if we're continually meeting together, and not just meeting together to worship, but to break bread together, to share life together with sincere hearts. And yeah, college campus is a great way to do that. And it's a place where a lot of people are having questions. They're coming up against finding their own theology, their own way in life. And so it's a very open place to be. So it's a very ripe place to be. The harvest is right there. So yeah, I love Laurie and what she's doing so much.
Well, we really have appreciated and just having you be part when you've been home. That's just been so cool. And you ought to see when I say, hey, Lily's in town or Lily's coming, and everybody perks up because
Oh,
you're home, So it's just been really neat having you be part when you could. So, but it seems to me, Lily, that way back when you were in high school, we had a missionary come visit. And I remember, I think I even told Pastor Phil, we need to tell Lily about this because I knew that you had a heart for missions, right? And
yeah.
he came that night. And I think, well, do you want to share anything about your future plans or anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Laurie and Pastor Phil were both a huge help and stepping stone for me in my reaching my future dreams. Like Laurie said, I've always wanted to be a missionary, and so there was a missionary that came to the specific country that I wanted to go to, and they both called me and were like, "Hey, Lily, like, come over to young adults. Like, this missionary is going to be there, and you need to hear him speak." And so I came and met the missionary, and we exchanged contact information. And then I was invited to the team, and then I went to that country for 3.5 months and came back. And now I'm gonna go to East Africa and join the team again, planting churches in East Africa among an unreached people group. And so it's just that step opened a whole path, a whole destiny, and Laurie was a huge part of it. Yeah, it's huge.
Well, it's been fun to see how God has guided you and directed you along the way, and how you've walked in obedience to Him, and went off, and just you, the team. Thank God for the teams. So, but and Lily is now raising support herself. So, and like I've said before, this is one of my favorite things to do. Is we want to we want to support missions near and far. And Jeff and I are near, but we have a heart for far. We particularly have a heart for those that we get to see go out. And so you might, I've tagged Lily on this thing, so you could connect with her, and I'll get her email too and put it on here. So you could connect with her if you're interested in supporting someone to go far. And I think she really wants to get there pretty soon, right? Yeah.
As soon as the border is open, I'm ready to go.
Yeah. So, and the first time, raising support, she's going as a missionary associate. And so that's a much bigger budget than a 3-month trip. This is a 2-year commitment that she's making. And so you're talking of a 2-year budget, and that's hard. And yet at the same time, God is doing a work here in the United States and around the world. And to be able to be part of supporting His work is an investment in His kingdom. And so, anything that we can do. So, sometimes I wish I could raise a whole lot more money so I could just support missionaries, but especially some of ours. But
I wish I could too.
I know, that's one thing I have discovered is that missionaries do support other missionaries, and they are very giving. So, because I think you know, how much it means to have someone back you. So if you can't, for some reason, support financially, and it doesn't have to be a lot, it can be, but it can be, a small amount. It means so much. But if you can't do financial, ask to get on Lily's email and at least follow her and keep her in prayer and everything else as well. So, but I'm really proud of you, Lily. It's been neat to watch your journey, and we will continue to pray for you, and just be part of that, your support team. So, and I really appreciate you guys getting on. If you know anyone who's looking for a place to invest, share this video, like it. You have two options here. So, and we're so close. And
Yeah.
so, and I've
Go
had
to Laurie first, by all means.
but I really just have appreciated all the comments I've had. People say, it's been so neat to see it come down and just hear testimonies. And I don't know how many people are watching, but I know it's been neat for me. So I appreciate if you're on here that you've taken the time. I didn't even get a chance to look over at the comments. So, but have a Jesus-filled day.
You too.